We cannot be manufactured. We can't be replicated. That's probably a good thing. Why? Because we are your Implicit Bias Radio. I'm Kavan Bortle on the crew, and that is the crew with a K is in the TSPL, and we're ready for another 2 hours of solving the world's problems one weekly whiskey at a time. We are honored and humbled that you are here to listen to us as a group, a show that just can't be copied. We can't be replicated. And look, the reality is we're just doing our best with what we've been given. Loud mouths, strong opinions, and livers that are almost as strong as well. Like it or not, it may be what you'd call our talent. I mean, we've all got one, a God-given talent, that is. And just like the show, it can't be remade by people or companies, can't be replicated. It's fitting that this brings us to the parable of the talents. In the story, it's coins, but in reality, it's really also every unique trait we've each been given from our Creator. It's in Matthew chapter 25, verse 14 through 30. In the parable, Jesus tells the story of a master who entrusts his servants with varying amounts of money, referred to as talents. And the master then leaves on a journey. To one servant, he gives 5 talents, to another 2, and to the last one, just 1, each according to their ability. Now, upon his return, the master finds that the servants entrusted with 5 and 2, they've doubled what was given to them through hard work and wise stewardship. The servant who received only 1 talent, however, in fear, he hid it and returned only what he'd been given. Now, the master praised the first 2 for their diligence and initiative, but he rebuked the third for his lack of faith and effort. Now, the parable isn't just about money, but it's also about the unique gifts, abilities, and opportunities each of us receives. It illustrates that talent is bestowed according to individual capacity, and that each person is entrusted with their own potential for growth, creativity, and impact. These talents, they're not manufactured, nor can they be cloned. They truly are gifts from God. Now, when we speak of talent, what are we referring to? We're referring to something far more profound than mere skill or acquired ability. Skill can be taught. Knowledge can be transferred. But true talent, whether it's art, leadership, innovation, music, or basically anything else, it's a spark of the divine within each individual. It's actually written in the book of James, chapter 1, verse 17. Every good and perfect gift is from above. God-given talent is literally woven into the very fabric of who we are. It's unique to each person, much like our fingerprints, and it reflects a purpose and a calling that cannot be mass-produced or artificially generated. Look, in today's world, companies, people, competitors, they strive to identify, cultivate, and even replicate success. They build systems, they employ metrics, they try to standardize greatness. And while these efforts may improve processes, they can't manufacture genuine talent. The magic of a gifted artist, the intuition of a great leader, the compassion of a healer, these are qualities that rise above training and imitation. No 2 people possess the same combination of gifts and potential. When a company attempts to manufacture talent, what they're actually trying to achieve is the replication of skill sets or behaviors. The soul of talent, that inexplicable force that moves hearts and transforms lives, that remains out of reach. Now, we live in an age where artificial intelligence and automation can mimic human actions with remarkable precision. Yet, for all of our innovations, we cannot replicate the creative impulse, the inspired moment, or the subtle genius that distinguishes true talent. Technology can amplify talent, but it can't create it from nothing. Just as the servant in the parable could not produce new talents by hiding and preserving what he was given, so too can neither people nor companies manufacture that which is inherently divine. The lesson in the parable of the talents is not just that talent is a gift, but that it's also a responsibility. See, we're called to nurture, develop, and multiply what has been entrusted to us. Growth comes not from imitation or production, but from stewardship, courage, faith. Each person has a role to play. Each company does have a mission to fulfill, Not by copying others, though, but by amplifying the unique talents God has endowed in each individual. So we need to remember our greatest achievements, they arise when we recognize, honor, and invest in our God-given gifts. As stewards, our challenge is not to manufacture talent, but to create environments in which it can flourish, to encourage the expression of originality, and to value diversity as a reflection of God's creativity. Look, we all have talents. Renee's approach and appreciation to tobacco. Brian Harmon's intuitive knowledge of the game. Now, wrestling fans understand that joke. Walker's affinity for slides and short shorts. Caleb, who's not here, his lust for things that make you go boom. We urge you to reflect on the talents that you've received. Your gifts are not an accident, they're a calling. Companies will try to make it, people will try to copy it, but in the end, your talent belongs to you and your implicit bias. Cheers. It is a weekly whiskey first on this week's episode of Implicit Bias Radio. Why? Because the Implicit Bias Liquor Collective comes through for you. I'm your host, Kevon Bordelon. Caleb Morse, the Rustic Renegade. I appreciate the heads up that he wasn't going to be here this week. He told me at 2 o'clock. It's 6 p.m. when we're recording this episode. But it's okay because it's his loss. Renee Girard's gain. Renee Girard, the certified wizard of tobacco, is with us.
Yes, it's great. We get to drink lots of whiskey.
Not only do we get to drink lots of whiskey, we get to help. We don't get to pick it, but we get to help.
We get to input
a barrel. Yes, we get to give our opinion. Shocker, we give it all the time. But this time we're giving it with whiskey that has not been brought to Acadiana yet. What am I talking about here? Well, we're going to introduce you to the gentleman at the bar. Members of the Implicit Bias Liquor Collective, Champagnes in Abbeville. Man, we're asking, what are they going to bring? And what do they bring? They bring a barrel pick kit. Chris Richard, Cody Champagne, it is a pleasure to have you here with us in the Mr. Lester's TSPL. So first of all, I have to ask, what do you think of our studio?
I think it's just amazing. I mean, it's got everything that you want.
And here we go. I thought you were going to say, I think it's just a room and a house, which is pretty much all it is.
Heck
That's
no.
okay, but we built a bar.
Man, look at this bar and with all this bourbon up here. I mean, we could go wrong with this.
And if you want to see what this looks like, find us on YouTube, find us on X, on Instagram, on Facebook. We're on all those platforms. You can actually see the video version of this podcast/radio show. So that is Chris Richard. You got to slide that microphone over because we want to introduce Chris Richard, Cody Champagne. Cody, it's a pleasure to have you here. Is this everything you expected? Because I know you watch and you listen to the episodes. You have to eat that microphone. I mean, eat it.
Yeah, no, this is I wasn't expecting this. I'll be honest. This is cool though.
You look like you're already having a really good time, and we're not even deep into this.
Correct.
Outstanding. Okay, so Chris, I'm going to ask you, once you put that glass down, to outline for us, what are we doing here that is an implicit bias first with whiskey?
All right, so what we came here with is a single barrel pick from New Riff Distillery. We have 3 different samples, and we're going to try to pick which one would be best for the Acadiana area here.
Okay, so I appreciate that. So, Renee, I want to start with you because you are our, how do I?
Yeah, what was the term that you used? Something princess last week?
Oh, the proof princess?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like
yeah,
that.
you're the proof princess because you don't like high proof stuff.
No,
but that's
no,
okay.
yeah.
Now, to be clear, we don't know the proof on any of this.
No.
We?
It's none of the information they sent, they didn't give us proof. All they sent was a little bottle of juice and try it.
Here's what we know. What we know is all of the liquid that we are sampling here today is 6.5, almost 7 years old. So distilled in mid-2019.
Mid-2019. The first one has been distilled in March of 2019.
And we know that it is a bourbon. That's basically all
right.
we know.
Yeah.
Okay, so Renee, I'm curious as to what you think of this first one.
It's the proofing is right for me. It's not very strong. I'm picking up a flavor that I can't describe, but it's kind of a flatness. I'm getting just kind of a flat
so
flavor.
I'm going to tell you what I think I get off this. And it's been a while since I've had this on the palate, but it almost to me gives like a flat root beer.
Yeah.
I get a little of that sassafras. I hit that note, and it's not
Yep.
quite caramel, but it is.
Caramel.
It is a. Don't make me kick you off today, Renee. Don't make me kick you off. No, I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that. But I get that beautiful sweetness that you would expect with a bourbon. It is a full flavor, which I love.
Right.
The front of the palate, it doesn't hit a ton on the front of the tongue, but man, that mid palate, that back palate, this sits and lingers. I'm curious as to what you're thinking at the bar.
I can agree with the root beer flavoring. I find it just lingers sitting there on the back side of the palate. It's very balanced. I think it's a good sipper for sure.
So while y'all swap the microphone, I'm gonna tell you the nose of this, I get significant leather. I get worn baseball glove leather on the nose. So when you take that deep whiff,
Yeah.
it's beautiful. It's leathery. It's not overly smoky, but it's got just enough to it. And this, I really like. I'm curious as to so we've got Paul Sabatier of Superior Audio Video with us. We have Hold Harmless Harmon, who is with us here this week. We call him Triple H. He hates it. It's why we call him that. And we're going to get notes from them in just a second. But Cody, I'm curious as to what you think of this one. And again, so that microphone, it needs to be almost kiss it. Kiss it.
I'm not
kiss it.
one to pinpoint all those details. I like it because it's oily to me. It stays on your palate a little while.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like about it.
Yeah, the viscosity here is there, as I think maybe we could correctly say. Girl, it's thick with 2 C's. I mean, I love the way that this sits, and I hate to use this term, but we do frequently because it is a bourbon term. The mouthfeel of this,
Yeah.
the way it just sits on the palate and it sits in the
It does
mouth.
linger.
It lingers.
Yep.
It's not over harsh. And I'm willing to bet the proof on this is probably going to be somewhere between 1 and 107 to 108. I don't think this is under 100, more than likely.
No.
Um,
I would think that it's a higher proof, even though I'm not a big high proof guy. It's coming straight out of a barrel, uncut, everything. I would think about a 110, maybe even a 115.
If I'm going to say this, if that is a 115, I am floored that it's 115.
It's
and I'm looking
smooth.
at the studio audience because if it's
smooth.
115, it does not drink
Yeah.
like a 115, and it
Well,
at 115 would be bourbony McBourbon.
we don't know
It
what
would.
it is, so I'm saying 115.
Okay, you're going to say 115. Renee's the certified wizard of tobacco. Louisiana's only certified master tobacconist now believes
Who knows
that
squat about bourbon,
that
but it's go.
he has the God-given gift to pick proof and to deem proof on a particular whiskey, which we know does not happen. All right, Chris. So any thoughts on this one before we start to think about the next one? And Walker, we might go long on this segment. That's okay.
No, I don't have anything else to add to this one here if y'all want to move on.
Okay, yeah. So here's what's going to happen. And Cody are going to stay right there. Mr. Harmon is going to help us on the video side. He's going to help pour just a little bit all around the room so we all have a taste of this so we can get into the second barrel. Now, Chris, this barrel is not March. This is April.
This is an April barrel.
This is an April barrel, but still from 2019.
Exactly. Still distilled from 2019. It's got the char number 4 in it. Let's see what it's going to be like.
Okay, so you have the first taste, so you have to tell us what you're getting off of this. Because Harmon's being greedy McGreedy over there and wants to make sure his glass is rinsed out before we have a little pour for everybody. Thank you. Make sure Paul gets a taste. All right.
So I think I'm still getting the traditional balanced sweetness of New Riff. I don't think this one's going to linger as long as the first one did. It's not a bad juice, but it doesn't have my pick on it.
Okay. So I will give mine while Renee gets an opportunity to sample his, and I'll tell you what I think. This one to me comes off significantly sweeter than the first. I get a lot of sweet on this. I get cherry. I get a little bit of spice. Yep, I do get that spice. This hits that sweet part of the tongue where the taste buds are, to me, much faster. I would think this is at a little bit lower proof than the first one, but it still has a really long finish. I like the oily nature of what New Riff puts out because it does. It just sits on the palate. It lingers. It's there for a while. And again, the best part about what we've experienced so far here for me is that both of these here for me would be must-haves on my bar. Both of them for me. This one to me a little sweeter than the other one though, which sometimes is a bit of a detractor for me. Renee?
Yeah, I don't get the flatness like I did on the first one. I think I like the first one better than this one. I'm just not. It's just not ringing my bell.
I get heavy cherry.
Yeah.
And what's funny
I'm
is
not getting all those.
I'm not
flavors,
going to
but
say just heavy cherry. I'm going to go, I get heavy cherry sour on this. Like a cherry sour candy. Oh, yeah, Cody. Okay, Cody, you grab the microphone because I'm curious. You're hearing some of the, or seeing and smelling, tasting some of the same things I am.
One of the things when I said the spice earlier, I was like, it's almost like the sour candy. And I was like, when you said cherry, and I was like, yes, the
Yep.
cherry sour.
Cherry sour all day long. And I love cherry sours.
Me too. I just bought some at Buc.
But I don't know that I want cherry sour out of my bourbon. For me, it's almost a little too sweet on this one.
Correct. I don't like a sweet bourbon. I'm still on number one.
Okay, still on number one. Look, this one, I'm curious as to one or two from the implicit bias live studio audience for this particular pick. One. Yeah, so far, the first one really has hit home and really has come in at a very high mark. Okay, so that means that we need to finish these small sips now that we've had a taste of this, and we're ready to go to taste number 3. So normally when you get to taste a barrel and you get to pick a barrel, Chris, to walk people through the process, I know that sometimes the distillery will send a representative. They might send a brand ambassador, but sometimes you're just dealing with a distributor when it comes down to a barrel, correct?
Correct. Representatives from the distributors will come out with a couple of samples. We'll sit there in the room and try to pick apart which one we feel would be the best one. Trying to pick out different notes, just as we are here tonight, and just go from there.
So the fun part of all of this is I love the uniqueness of what we're doing right here, right now. The uniqueness is so incredible because, number one, we'll never get this experience with great people tasting whiskey, sampling whiskey again. What you're hearing on the radio is how this works. You wonder how barrel picks happen? This is it. Last but not least, this will never happen again. This is a unique barrel. You can replicate the exact same mash bill, the exact same distillation process. You can do all of that the same. The aging, even the distillation process, the humidity, all of that factors in. And it's truly a talent to distill great stuff and make great whiskey because it cannot be replicated. It really can't. And you want this barrel, you're only going to get it one place. So, all right, Renee, we'll start with you. Barrel 3. Chris, what month was this distilled?
This one here is also in April.
Okay.
April 17th.
Different location in the Rick House, though.
Different location.
I'm getting a little bit more flavor. I'm trying to decide the flavorings I'm getting, but I'm getting a lot more flavor on this one. The color is great on it. It's still, none of the three I noticed are very viscous. They're not sticking to the glass.
I'm not worried about sticking to the glass. The
Well,
glass,
I mean-
the legs I don't care about the legs. I'm worried about it sticking to my palate for a long time.
And this one's it holds to the palate. Man, I don't know.
Okay. I want to go to the bar. I want to go to Chris on this one because I will say this one hits the front of the palate very quickly.
It does. It hits you right off at the front side. Once it gets down to the back side, it does linger. It's still very balanced. I'm not getting ethanol or anything of that nature out of it.
No.
It's very smooth.
Yes. So first of all, proofing done right means that you don't get a Kentucky hug. It doesn't choke you up. The vapors don't wipe you out. You can simply sip it neat, and it's as the artisan intends, as the whiskey maker intends. It really is beautiful to taste this.
Now, I have a question about this. These 3 samples they sent, this is literally straight out of the barrel. There's
Yes.
no proofing on it. There's no nothing. It's the juice right out. They pop the bung, pull the sample out, put it in the bottles, and
So it depends, right? If you are looking at particular types of barrels, they may do a little blending. It's
Okay.
rare. But if it's a single barrel pick, usually it is straight out of the barrel.
in other words, they pull the barrel from the rick house, pull it, and
Depending upon the distillery, the master distiller may distill it to a point where he says, okay, I want to dilute this just enough to find the right flavor profile for us with what our distillery represents. So, for example, not that I would have any discussion around this, hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, but if you were to, say, be involved in a barrel pick of 1792,
Right.
but it's a 12-year. Well, the 12-year, they like that profile to be a lower proof than they would a cask strength, right? Or a barrel strength 1792. So the barrel strength is going to be straight out of the barrel.
Right.
The 12-year,
They will cut it.
they might cut and
A
proof
little.
it down where they want and believe that profile should be. And then with, whether it's a sweet wheat or something like that, they might
Right.
mess with it a little bit to hit that flavor profile. But if you are just looking at a single barrel cask strength, literally whiskey thief straight out of the barrel, and sometimes they don't even do that. What they'll do is they'll just drill into the facing of the barrel.
Right.
And if you drill in at the top, right, or you drill in at the bottom first, it is so airtight, it really doesn't flow. So what
You
they'll
gotta-
do is they'll drill a hole at the top, and then they'll tell you, put the glass right here,
'Cause
and they'll
it's-
drill a hole at the bottom, and it comes out.
right.
And they put the little bottle underneath it, and that's what
it.
you send.
Huh.
That's the
That's
way
right.
it works.
Our first barrel pick that we ever did was a New Riff, where we went to the distillery and actually got to drink it straight from the barrel, just as you described.
Yep. Okay. So, Cody and Chris, I'm curious as to your thoughts on the third one here.
I think this one here is leaning more for me as one of my top picks between the three. It's very balanced. It's what I'm looking for in a bourbon.
Okay, Cody, I'm curious as to what you think here of our third potential pick of a barrel from New Riff.
I like the third one, but I'm still on the first one more than the third.
Okay, so here's what I get. I get a beautiful nose on it. I do. I love. I love the smell of this one. I get a little oily. I get a little cardamom on it. Like it's maybe a little more complex. It hits the front of the palate. It is sweet. I almost get corn on the front of the palate, which you would expect. I would think this is a high corn mash bill on this one. The back end lingers, and I get something that twings on the back end. I get a little twang, a little funk on the back end. It's not the alcohol. I don't know exactly what it is on my palate that is just maybe a little but for me, I'm like you. And I know this is me being picky. If I got right in the middle of 1 and 3, it would be unobtainium.
Blend 1 with 3.
It would be the most insane whiskey we've had. And I think this is another 100 plus proof,
Yeah.
right? Easy.
Yeah.
But it does not drink hot at all.
No.
As Chris said, this is balanced. It is smooth. This is
don't-
artistry in distillation.
I don't get the flatness off of this one like I did the first one. I think I like this one better.
Oh,
Out of-
split room.
Yeah.
All right, look into the. Oh, okay. So the bourbon
Okay.
drinkers,
So now they have a decision to make.
there is a decision to make. And here's the beautiful part of this. We're just get to give our opinion.
Yes.
What we can tell you is one day in the near future, this barrel will show up at Champagne's in Abbeville. Now, Chris, you may have made your decision. I don't know. You and Cody may need to go talk about this somewhere else. That's okay. But the beauty of this is no matter what you pick, oh my goodness, this is fantastic. And the ability for you guys to get this barrel, because not a lot of people are doing New Riff barrels. Not a lot of people are bringing in New Riff. So it's one of those brands that, man, you want a New Riff, go to Champagne's Abbeville. Chris?
That's right. So, I mean, we can expect to see this on the shelves probably within the next 6 to 8 weeks. I'm thinking we're going to go with the first pick.
Outstanding.
I mean, everybody seems to be in agreement that that's
Les Miles clap. Les Miles clap. We're not bringing him back to LSU, but we can
No.
still do the clap. We can
right.
still do the clap. Yes.
So yeah, I say in 6 to 8 weeks, be on the lookout for our New Riff.
Bourbon, Bourbony McBourbon. Yes.
That's right.
I'm excited over here in the corner.
I can tell.
Yeah, don't tell my wife. Anyway, this is a truly fantastic conversation, truly fantastic experience.
Yeah, it's something that I'd never experienced before, having to make a decision between 3 whiskeys on what are you going to buy.
So,
With the
Renee, you
bottle.
get to fill out the book on this. Now,
Yeah.
I know what you're going to want. You're going to want another little bitty sliver of that, aren't
Well, I
you?
gotta. Yeah,
You-
it's gotta.
'cause
I'm old. I'll forget.
You're going to fill out the implicit bias Whiskey
forget.
Tasting Journal, which you can only get on Amazon. You can order it. We'll ship it to you, but you can order the Implicit Bias Whiskey Tasting Journal. It's not filled out.
It's
not that one.
I have one left at
You
the
have
shop.
one left.
I have one.
We need to get you some more.
Yeah.
But this, and we are, Renee, I'm going to deliver it to you. We're going to get the spreadsheet set up. We're going to start inputting all this information
Oh, yeah.
because this, for
Oh,
us to
yeah.
have this and to have this
can-
taste
Yeah.
is absolutely phenomenal.
That'd be great.
Where did Harmon go? Harmon's not keeping his,
He's running away. I think he's going.
not
Tried it.
worth a damn, right? he is no longer living up his end of the bargain to be here. Yeah, Now he figures it out because he goes, "Ooh, I get to sip a little more whiskey." But this is what makes Implicit Bias Radio so much fun. Walker, how are we doing on time? How bad are we?
Not bad.
We're not bad?
Not too bad.
Not too bad. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna give my thoughts on this, and yeah, I just need a splash here
Okay, that's good.
because I really want that nose again to be able to put this into the Whiskey Tasting Journal. Perfect.
Okay.
That's all I need. Thank you.
So
okay.
what are we gonna call this one?
Oh, we need a name for
Yeah,
this.
we need a name.
So
Ooh, good question.
what are y'all naming this?
Well, I mean, it is a new Riff product. I
Because
think
this is yours, but
That's right.
it can only be received. It
only
can only
at
be gotten
Champagnes of Abbeville.
at Champagne's Abbeville.
So
Yeah, but this is not the first new riff y'all have done, right?
this is not. We've
Okay.
actually picked 2 other ones in the past. So this will be our 3rd barrel from them.
This is a winner. Yes, revisiting this, this is a winner.
I can agree with you, Kavan. It's very smooth. It's
This
just
is
sits there at
candy.
the backside of the palate, and
This is candy. This is a cordial. This is sitting by the fire in 40-degree weather. I mean, keeping you warm at the hunting camp. I mean, this is
So we need a fire. We got the 40-degree weather.
Correct.
We need a fire. So can we build a fire?
we
right
cannot build a fire right here
Oh.
because somebody closed the door. That's all. I know. Somebody got cold and closed the door. It was starting to chill off in here. It was feeling good, and somebody. But yes, this is fantastic. So Chris, here's what we'll do. When you guys receive the shipment,
okay,
we're gonna have you back on that week.
wonderful.
I just need to know in advance when it's coming so we can make sure that we bring you on right in time for that particular pick so that people can come get it because, man, this is going to be an absolute winner. And I'm going to ask, ballpark of what new Riff runs. When you do a barrel pick, what's a ballpark that people can expect in pricing? And you can give a range here. It doesn't
Not-
need to be specific.
Not knowing exactly how many bottles a 6-year bourbon will yield off of this particular barrel, I'm thinking probably $75 to $85.
Ring the bell. Ding, ding, ding. Because Renee has just won the What Would You Pay Championship Belt Chain presented by Box Drop of Lafayette. We're going to pass that over because Renee happened to have guessed 75 to 85 bucks as a ballpark. And that is where Renee is going to wear the What Would You Pay. You can pass that chain to him right now so our people can see it.
And that's because nobody else wants to wear it. You know, I wear this thing with pride.
You do.
You know what Mike Trammell went through to make this?
We also
just
know
for us?
we also know what kind of pride you wear it with. This
Yeah.
is Implicit Bias Radio. We'll be back with more of Hour 1 right after this. Cheers. Implicit Bias Radio rolls on. I'm your host, Kavan Bordelon. My guest host, Caleb Morse, not here this week. And boy, did he miss out on the fun. At the bar, we have 2 members of the normal crew who are here on the show. Paul Sabatier of Superior AV. Oh, come on, Paul. You know it's funny. You know it's funny.
Hilarious.
And we have Triple H, Hold Harmless Harmon, who loves the nickname. I know.
Glad to be here.
Yeah. You don't want to be called Hold Harmless Harmon, though, do you?
No, I've grown to expect the ridicule.
Okay, good. So I have to ask, gentlemen at the bar, because you got tastings of that Champagne's Abbeville New Riff barrel pick. Your thoughts?
Yeah, standing silently in the corner. Thank y'all for that. That was fun.
Hey, you got
I had
whiskey,
so much
didn't
to
you?
say. I did. I appreciate it. Number 1 was a clear winner. I think we all agreed on that. That was pretty unanimous. I like the nose on number 2. I really did. I thought number 2 was going to be quite special, but it just didn't hold up. 3 was good. It had a lot of flavor. It had everything I liked about number 1, but the flavor did not stick around, and it was a bit thin in comparison to number 1.
Yep.
That's why I went with number 1.
I'm with you completely. Paul, what'd you think of that particular offering? And you can move the microphone. You don't have to necessarily move yourself to it. Harmon will hog it all night if you let him.
Yeah, no, I agree. The number 1 was definitely my favorite. Number 3 was probably my second, and then number 2 is a distant third.
I think most of us were on the same page with that. I mean, if not, it was very close. I think the only off of it was maybe Renee.
Yes.
I think
like-
and Chris, who went
I like
3-1-2.
Yeah, I like 3 better.
as
then
opposed to
1,
1,
then
3,
2.
2. Yeah. But I mean, all of those, really all of them were winners, if you
Yeah.
ask me.
Right.
It was,
I don't know. Number 2 is lame.
number 2 was not lame. It was an embarrassment of riches is what it was.
Yeah.
It literally, it's like going to a normal college quarterback after you've had back-to-back Heismans. That's
Yeah,
what it was.
Well, okay.
They-
All right. Yeah. Okay.
They were all smooth. So I just got it. Sometimes we get scared just because I've gone and bought bottles from raving from you guys. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's hot. It's not. The pick we just did it had a great flavor. It was super smooth. It came in the back, but it was really, really good.
Agreed. Thank you. Appreciate y'all chiming in on that. So let's get to, the talents that are out there and the way we're trying to manufacture all of it, which is there are people who believe that companies manufacture talent and they do try. I don't think they actually succeed. But then there's one entity that does everything it can. And people believe that they can manufacture solutions. They believe they can manufacture talent. They believe they can manufacture equity, equality, and all this stuff. And government does none of it. Government cannot manufacture anything other than waste, fraud, and abuse. That's what government does better than anybody else is waste, fraud, and abuse. So the question is,
For years I've been trying to think of what they did. You just hit that on the head.
well, ring the bell for me, damn
Yes,
it.
I mean, because I always thought government was useless, but you just put it down.
Our government has done one other thing really well, which is defense of the country.
Oh yeah.
To thank our veterans. And even the veteran here on the set is like, maybe, kind of. I mean, we've tried to mess it up.
Yeah.
We have tried to mess it up from my opinion. But, man, watching what we've done and seeing that the government is now shut down,
Yeah.
the question is, and I love kind of where, Harmon, you went with it, which was, wait, it's shut down?
Yeah, I'm fortunate enough where my paycheck doesn't come from the government, so it hasn't affected me. Sympathy to everybody that is being affected. I mean,
Agreed.
There's no disrespect to
And
anybody.
I mean, really, none of the services that I used,
yeah.
I've been impeded. It doesn't affect me right now.
100%. The people that want the people in government are the people that want the government shut down the least, and not because, of course, the paycheck. It's the ruling class. The longer this goes on, the more the population realizes how not inept, but just
No,
How
actually, here's
unnecessary.
here's where I think you're going. I think Renee hit the nail on the head here.
I'm several drinks deep already. I'm struggling for my thoughts
So,
already.
so ring the bell if you would, because Renee's going to get the bell ring on this one. And it's this. I think that the longer the government is shut down, the more people realize how much they don't actually need the government.
There it is.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing, except for apparently 40 some odd million people who are in some way, shape, or form on government support. Now, we care for our fellow man. It's why we did a show last week that said we should take care of each other from charity, not by mandate. It should come from your morals, not from a government mandate. So we should take care of each other.
Well, I mean, years ago, I'm talking, 50 plus years ago, a majority of the charity was done by churches, the various churches and that, but people donated to those churches because they had the money to be able to donate. But when government got into the charity business, which isn't a charity business, it's a taking our money business.
It's theft.
And people don't have the money to donate to the churches to take care of the poor and the people in need. But now the government can determine who gets the charity or the help or who doesn't.
Paul?
Yeah, so you're right as far as the government. We probably don't realize it, but the government has a huge implication in all of our lives, and it's happened since the 60s. They've been implementing where our manufacturing goes, the EPA. We have systems that sue our government that are paid by our government. It's just a round and round circle of waste, money, and fraud, just like you said. But we have people are just so dependent on checks and so forth, and it just gets. We haven't even seen what America really can become if we would have not done the stuff that we did.
I think we
back then.
I think we did see it. We saw it in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and then it waned in the 90s, right? The reality is, do I care for my fellow man? I absolutely do. Do I want to help somebody who's on hard times? I absolutely do. Now, I'm going to do that out of charity. And I'm okay with the government doing it temporarily. So all of the systems that people are complaining about were designed to temporarily assist someone while they got back up on their feet. The problem now is that we have generations of people
who are
who-
dependent
who
on that
have
system.
made an industry out of it. That is their employment. So when we hear people talk about UBI, Universal Basic Income, we have people who have been on Universal Basic Income for generations. There actually was a story in the New Orleans paper, the Times-Picayune, and I'm going to go back to 2005. Anybody remember what happened in 2005?
Katrina.
Katrina happens. So they write an article about this woman, and they were protesting. They were about to raise a housing development in New Orleans because it had to be. They mentioned this woman is in her 50s. Her mother is in her 70s. Neither has ever held a job in their entire life. They have been on government assistance the entire time. Do I want to help people? Yes. Do I want people to leech and not do anything?
I don't.
That's a
I wanna-
different story.
I want to help people. I don't want to support people. You know, if you're depending on me to do a continuous support, no, I'm not doing it.
I don't remember who's credited with this quote, but y'all all aware of it. If you pay people to be poor, you have a lot of poor people. That's human nature.
Correct.
Okay. So unfortunately, just like you just said, it's become generational. It's just become generational. It is. We can't have a robust welfare system in this country and an open border like we saw during the 4 years of the Biden administration. You have to pick one. You have to pick one. Okay. Either we continue the robust welfare safety net, which is what it used to be called.
Safety net should exist,
Should exist.
should be there,
It's a good thing.
and there should be limits on it.
That's correct.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. But you cannot support both. And that's my biggest problem I have with people who were in favor of the open border, who don't see a problem with 20 million people, or estimated 20 million people coming into the country over just a 4 year span.
So we got to wrap up this segment. I'll wrap it up with this. Maybe this is the best way to think about this. We have a government that has been in the business of continuing to feed people. We also have a government that has a division called the U.S. Forestry Service. And you know what the U.S. Forestry Service says about feeding animals in national parks? That you should not feed the animals because it will teach them to no longer utilize their own God-given talents to make their own way. You will instead make them dependent upon other people feeding them. And that is not what's intended, not just in society as we are in America, but in God's law, in God's world, and in God's intent. This is Implicit Bias Radio. Man, it is a fun time on Implicit Bias Radio this week. I'm your host, Kevon Bordelon. We've got a great crew with a K here in the Mr. Lester's TSPL. Some things we got to get out of the way. Number one, we are going to be back at Mr. Lester's
I'm looking forward
next
to
week, November 5th. We're going to live stream the episode that night, November 6th. We'll post times, but it's probably going to be 6:30, 7 o'clock that we start that show. That show will still air on radio. It will be recorded, but we're also going to live stream it. So if you want to chime in, I highly suggest you
And
chime in.
It'll probably go long too.
If you want to join us at the real Mr. Lester's TSPL, the TSPL South,
Yes.
Mr. Lester Steakhouse, we have an opportunity for you to do that. On November 15th, we are going to host Winner Implicit Dinner, where Mr. Lester's covers food, booze, and a hotel room for the night. It will be the Implicit Bias crew, about 90 of our closest friends.
That's always a fun event.
It is a fun night. So how do you enter? Here's how you enter. Number one, if you didn't catch it on the show, you might need to go to the podcast. You might need to go backwards. You might need to go figure out where the Implicit Bias Liquor Collective locations are. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Think about this. Go north to south. Benny's in Opelousas, Champagne's in Carencro, Ambassador Wine and Spirits in Lafayette, Champagne's in Abbeville, who, by the way, is here with us tonight, and we got some special stuff from them. We'll remind you of that. Or Nunu's, their Maurice, and their Youngsville locations. Go in there, scan the QR code. Go in any of those locations. Tell them, hey, I want to enter. Scan the QR code. You are entered to win. No purchase necessary. You can go to Gambino's. You can go to Piper's Haven. You can go to William S. Nacall Jewelers. You can't go to the Rustic Renegade anymore. Somebody actually beat Caleb Morse on the digital range, and we have an automatic winner.
So how many times did he have to shoot that to beat him? One time.
One
Ooh.
time. Impressive.
Ooh.
Impressive. Go enter to win. That is November 15th. We're going to announce the winners next week on the live show. So you've still got about a week to do it. You got a few days. Go enter to win. No purchase necessary.
Yeah, and I mean, all you got to do is come and Put your phone up to the QR code.
That's it.
I think I only have 3 more scans of my QR code. It's wearing out.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, sure, Renee. Okay. So this is and this is a really fun thing that we get to talk about, because if you don't get to go down there with us, you can still go to Mr. Lester's and you can get oh no, we're in November now, because when this show airs, it will officially be November 1st. It is $17.92 a month.
Ooh.
They're doing $5 pours of $17.92, and get them while you can, because it might be different things. It might be sweet wheat. It might be the 12-year. It might be the full proof. So go down there, ask them what they got, because they've got a plethora. I like that word, plethora, right? Y'all know what that movie that's from. Please tell me. Chris, do you know what movie that's from?
No.
Sounds like Austin Powers.
Nope, not Austin Powers.
Oh, I have no
We are the Three Amigos. Remember the bad guy?
Oh, yeah.
I am el guapo. A plethora, right? Yeah, it's a plethora of 1792s.
I was about to guess Schindler's List.
Yeah.
Ring the bell. That's pretty good. All right. So, it's funny because, Harmon, I'm guessing that you are not like the people that we're going to talk about in this last segment of hour 1 of Implicit Bias Radio. Because if you find it on social media, there's actually somebody who does an interview, says just like 8% of people, when they drink, their dopamine levels like shoot through the roof, which means they can just keep going and going. That apparently is their God-given talent. They can just drink.
I saw it differently. I read that article differently. That was an explanation to alcoholism, in my opinion. Was it not? Did I misread that at like 12:30 last night?
I don't take it that way.
Yeah.
I don't take it that way, because if you look, I knew plenty of people who could go all night and just keep drinking, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't that they would not feel the effects, but it was just that their metabolism processed it so quickly, as well as what it did in their brain, that they were able to work through that. Now, that is an interesting perspective, that it could be that there are some people, and by the way, we always urge, please be responsible with what we're doing. We don't want anybody to get hurt by what we're doing. We like to do this as a hobby, not a habit.
Correct.
And it's a big deal. And some people, look, if you can't, thank you for listening to the show, because we talk about more than just whiskey on the show. But also there's another way to look at it, which is, some people are just predicated to being able to maybe have more fun than other people.
That's correct. And my life experience has taught me that some people have fun and some people just don't.
And you know what we call those people who don't? Leftists.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no fun. Right?
I'm glad I held my tongue.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure where you were going.
That's
with
fine.
that. Okay.
That's fine. But really, when you sit down and you start tasting spirits as a hobby, and you start just having fun with it, and you're doing, I'm telling people this, and if you can see, and you're watching on YouTube or Instagram or X, we've got a quarter ounce in here, maybe a quarter ounce, because that's really all you need. It's more about the people
Right.
that you're having the conversation with.
It definitely, whiskey goes a lot better when you're sitting amongst friends, having discussions, and just enjoying life.
Chris, you wanted to chime in on that as well.
And it happens to pair well with cigars.
Oh, it does. We're going to talk about cigars in just a second. But Chris, you were going to chime in.
Absolutely. It's all about the camaraderie. It's all about the friends that you're with. It's not just about what you're drinking and how much you're drinking. It's about the friendship.
My father once told me, and he said, son, if you ever start to travel a lot for business and you find yourself at the bar and it's not one, if you are drinking at the bar, he's like, check yourself in the mirror, right? Because at the end of the day, if you're doing this to do it introspectively, it's usually not a good thing. If you're doing this to try and make up for something that's not in your life, and usually that's other people, that's when we're really kind of steering this incorrectly. As opposed to, and of course I love it, somebody's calling me, as opposed to what we really should be doing, which is making sure that we are keeping the connection with people when it comes to these conversations, because these conversations happen in this scenario. And this is, I love the words you used, Chris, the camaraderie that is built while we're doing this.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we mentioned, the whiskeys that you guys brought, the new riff that we picked in the second segment of hour 1, which we can't tell you how much we appreciate and look forward to that barrel showing up at Champagne's Abbeville. And then y'all brought a gift. Y'all said the gift was getting to pick a barrel, but
No.
you showed up with So, Renee, this is a Michter's cask strength rye, 109.5 proof.
Yes, perfect. Perfect.
Wait, this is better than the 10?
I don't know. It's close. They're both. Michter's, I like
I like
Michter's
this
rye.
one. What you think?
Okay, so Chris, I'm going to let you say what you think about this one because I know you think this is special.
Oh, this one is very special. This Michter's, it's just everything that you want in a bourbon, or in a rye whiskey. It's amazing.
It is. And you know what else is amazing? That I let Walker get away with giving me the finger and I didn't say anything. Which means we got to come back in hour 2. And we're going to talk some more about this in hour 2. We'll talk more about whiskey in hour 2. We're going to solve more problems of the world in hour 2. And hour 2 is always more fun. Why? Well, it's probably because we're a couple weekly whiskeys in. This is Implicit Bias Radio. By the way, if you don't get hour 2, call your radio station. Tell them, hey, we want more Implicit Bias Radio. Catch us right back after this break. Renee, trying to figure out why we need to get hour 2 underway.
We're talking and drinking whiskey, man.
That's why.
Walker can just record while we're doing what we do.
And the chair of intoxication is in effect on Implicit Bias Radio.
Not here.
No.
No, it's up there.
Drunkle has not shown up, right?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
We
yet.
still got Michter's left.
Yeah.
Hour 2 is young.
Hour 2 is always more fun. Let me tell you what you've missed if you missed any of hour 1. We had an Implicit Bias first. Thanks to Champagne's Abbeville, we actually got to pick a barrel on air. That's the first. A new riff, and oh my goodness, I cannot wait for that barrel to show up that we picked on air. An absolute first here on Implicit Bias Radio. That's number 1. Number 2, we just had a ton of fun.
Yeah.
We've had multiple whiskeys. We've got Renee. We got Chris Richard from Champagne's Abbeville. We got Cody Champagne from Champagne's Abbeville. We got Brian Hold Harmless Harmon here from Dupree Carrier Godshaw. We got them all. We even got Walker, who's got a microphone, doesn't talk, don't know why he has a microphone, but he's still got a microphone. We're having a blast because we're talking about the God-given talents that we all have. Now, let's talk about wasting talent because this is an article I sent over that it's not political at all, but it is related to the wasting of talent. And people ask a lot of times, when the media really started going sideways. I don't know that you can ever pinpoint when the media started to go sideways. What you can pinpoint is when everyone else started to notice. And this is when it happened. If you are in the media, there is really one thing you have. You have to have credibility with the people who listen, who watch, who are part of the conversation. It's why on this show, we will give you sourcing. We'll tell you where things came from. But most of the time, what do we say? Don't believe
Take
us.
their word for it.
Please go do the research on your own. Please don't believe when we say this. Because if you do the research on your own, we're confident you'll figure it out. But we do that in order to say we want you to not trust us. That is the trust you put in us, is that we trust you enough to actually go do the research on your own. But a lot of the media, they don't want you to do that research. They don't want you to trust yourself. They want you to trust them. So I'm going to go back a good, oh my goodness, at this point, it's what? 8, 16, 24, 25 years. Jeez, it's been a long time.
2000?
Yep. It was right before the 2000 election. Dan Rather, at the time, was known as the successor to Walter Cronkite.
Yeah.
He was the next big guy to have the credibility of the mainstream media on his shoulders. Yet he single-handedly destroyed 60 Minutes. And 60 Minutes is still a thing. So people are going to say, oh, he didn't destroy them. They're still there. They've still got all this.
They're
But
still trying till this day.
they are still trying to this day.
Well, I mean, they've done several things and gotten sued and edited, interviews. It's still shambles.
Dan Rather is the one that exposed it, though.
Yeah.
Dan
Yeah.
Rather is the one who put it out there, and I'm not going to mince words, who lied about a presidential candidate in order to detract from the candidacy. Took an absolute lie to the air. Now, does anybody in here know how a story like that goes out? And it was a lie about former President Bush's military service. Does anybody know how a story like that goes to air? How many people are involved?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Bipartisanship.
Well, okay, so
No,
it's
but-
not bipartisanship. How many people are involved though in a story like
Well,
that? I don't
you
mean the
got-
lie.
you
I mean the
gotta-
actual production of the
You
the
got a
broadcast.
producer.
A lot.
Every reporter has a producer that supposedly does all the back work, because normally the reporters in that are face people. Most of them don't know what they're talking about.
That's very true. The reality is they not only have a producer, they have assistant producers.
Right. Who feeds it to the producer.
Correct. So the producer puts it all together, but you have assistant producers who are involved in research, who are involved in vetting. There are multiple people in multiple levels that are supposed to be involved in these stories to make sure that
That
these
it's
things
accurate.
don't happen. What are you, what Harmon? What, you're making a face over there.
Walker throwing gang signs at me.
Walker, why are you throwing gang signs?
No, I wasn't. I threw something in a water bottle.
You threw
Don't let my ADD interrupt the show.
West Side. Anyway,
Yeah.
you have multiple people that are supposed to be involved in this
Yeah.
so that
Fact checking.
a
and
lie
doing
does
everything.
not make it on air.
Right,
Correct. Say
right.
that. Say that again, Renee. Because you,
Doing fact checking.
yeah, that's their job.
Yeah.
At which point, the person who is actually on air is the last point of protection against a lie making it out there. And what did Dan Rather? Dan Rather oversaw all of it. Dan Rather oversaw the whole thing.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, you've got media propagating a lie and claiming to be the truth, which is why today, when we are trying to sort out stories and the media says, literally, please don't take my word for this, these things have been quoted, it's our job to tell people what to think. Thank you, Mika Brzezinski. Please don't believe me. She said
Yeah.
it. Go look it up.
On air.
She said it on air.
Yep.
It is
On
our job to tell people what to think.
Yeah. That sounds like some communist brainwashing stuff going on.
You've got the media experience. Who's the last line of defense? Whose job is it to say, wait a minute, this doesn't have the credibility to make it on air? Is it the editor?
So,
Who's the last line of defense there?
so
Producers?
you should have multiple people. And it depends upon where the media is located. So, for example, if you are somewhere in Lafayette, Louisiana, in the media, if you are a CBS, ABC, NBC, Fox affiliate in Lafayette, Louisiana, you might have one person proof your story. That person is not going to be with you most of the day. They're not going to be there when you're trying to get all the information and you're going through all of the sound bites and all the information that you've gotten. They're just not. They're there to proof it and see, and this is what's terrible. They are there to proof it and look at it from a perspective of, are we legally liable for anything this person's about to say? That is what they do. Now, that doesn't mean that they can decipher what is or is not a lie at that point, which is the crazy part, because they may not know all of it. But when you go to the national media level, this is going to go through 3-4 sets of eyes, 3-4 sets of ears. At the end of the day, though, the person sitting in front of the camera is the one who is telling the story. And that makes that person the last stopgap between the truth and your station, your entity, your show spreading a bunch of bull.
Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, considering it was Dan Rather who took the fall, and at that point in
And he
his
should
career, he should have known better. I agree with that.
He
So,
absolutely should have known better, because if you're doing this correctly as a reporter, you are going through and asking questions about all the information that you get.
Well, and it's not like he was new to the game. He had been doing it at that time.
Yeah, 2004. How long had Dan Rather been
Oh,
fronting
Oh,
the,
he
yeah.
cut his teeth in Port Arthur in like 1964.
Yeah,
Right.
He
He
was
was
old enough to know better.
Yeah, I mean, he was doing Vietnam reports,
Yeah.
and that, I mean, I remember watching him on TV doing the Vietnam death body counts and stuff.
Renee,
It just,
you remember people chiseling stuff in stone and bringing them out on the mountain. I mean,
well, yeah,
give me a break
I give
here.
you these 15, no,
15, 10 commandments. Yes.
Tell us about the Bronze Age.
It was bronze.
Awfully bronze.
Yes, very bronze.
But this is the different, and this is what all of a sudden can erode talent.
Yeah.
When you are disingenuous with it. And if we think we haven't seen disingenuous media, I mean, the most disingenuous thing we have, and I'm going to bring this to just kind of a news story. I don't care about the politics of it, but the most disingenuous thing we have is telling someone, hey, these people are responsible for X, Y, and Z because they technically control everything that is controlled in the government. When in reality, you need 60 votes.
Yeah.
You only have 53, which means you need 7 votes from the other side. So don't tell me that when you have 53 votes to open everything back up and everybody else on the other side says, no, we're not opening it, that those 7 people who could vote to open things aren't responsible. The people who are responsible are not the people who are voting to open the government. The people who are responsible are the people who are voting to not open the government.
Well,
and we know where that comes from.
But I mean, it's 7 people, but you have 47 to choose from.
That's my point.
Yeah. 40. It's not just 7. There's 47. And out of those 47, 7 of them aren't smart enough to realize that this is a bunch of.
Hold on. You know what that is, though?
What?
That is the leader on the other side saying you do not break ranks.
Well, and
that's what it is.
That's been proven all the way back during Pelosi and even before Pelosi's time. The Democrats, they're lockstep. Whatever leadership wants, they get.
I just want to say I've watched enough civil disobedience chants.
Man, multiple chairs of intoxication.
Yeah. Oh man, it's coming.
Wow.
Just wait.
Drunkle is here.
It's it. Yeah. I'm slurring at any moment now. I've watched enough civil disobedience marches and chants to know that democracy dies when the minority isn't listened to. Plain and simple. What I'm saying is, in order to open the government back up, the majority has to bend to the will of the minority.
I see what you're saying.
Okay, that's my
what
point.
you said did not make
explain
sense. What you said was like the Wookiee defense. That does not make sense.
Well,
right?
I do not understand
what
the
you-
words
what you
coming out
mean
of your
is
mouth.
you invited me here to drink alcohol and record me and ask me questions.
What you mean? What it seems like you were trying to convey is this: is that because of the way the system is set up in this specific situation, the minority is able to hold the majority hostage.
Yes.
Because
Exactly.
they will all stick together in an effort to try and point the finger at somebody else.
I'm trying, Walker. I don't know. You're awfully quiet over there.
Walker throwing up gang signs again.
big
West
time.
Side.
Oh yeah. He's very. I'm gonna go ahead and stop. I'm gonna have a sip and be quiet.
And look, these sips are fantastic.
Yes.
And again, I can't tell you how much I want to thank, first of all, Chris, you for bringing us an opportunity to do a barrel pick here on this show. And then you and Cody showing up with a bottle of Michter's cask strength rye, which is, Renee, what is it?
It is wonderful.
No, it is unobtainium.
Yeah, well,
It is really hard
I
to
don't know.
find.
It's not unobtainium. We got one.
Well,
I would have
Thanks
never
to-
guessed what we were missing was the need for more whiskey.
yeah.
Never guessed that.
Okay.
Thanks to friends that we have,
It is.
they
Okay.
made unobtainium obtainium.
So let me ask you this, Renee. It's time for us to do, because it's November now
yes.
when this show airs. What cigars would you pair with the new Riff barrel that we picked and with this Michter's cask strength rye at 109.5?
So it's got to be to work right off the bat. The Perdomo Legacy Nicaraguan shade grown, which nobody else has a leaf like this. This is a hybrid leaf that Nick Perdomo developed, and most of the time they shade grown Connecticut, but they're shade growing a Nicaraguan hybrid leaf.
Okay.
And it's amazing. And the Legacy series they just came out with about 7 months ago, and it's a phenomenal cigar.
The name alludes to it being grown in the shade. Is that correct? Tobacco will grow in the shade.
Yes.
Yeah.
They literally shade an entire field, and it could be 10, 15 acres. They put shade cloth over a big field, and they'll actually wrap the field with the same material. It's like a cheesecloth type material. And what it does is cut down the heat from the sun, and it also slows the wind down to where the plants are very delicate. The leaves come out very tender, very smooth, but it also affects the flavor of it a lot.
I like them tender, smooth, and flavorful.
Yes.
Yeah, just saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
All good things.
Yes, all good things.
But the Legacy, the only place you can get it is my store in Louisiana.
That's the only store in the
In
entire
Louisiana.
state?
Yes. We are Perdomo, because we sell a lot of Perdomo, and it's very limited on how many Legacy accounts they can set up. We are the only one in the state of Louisiana.
That is fantastic. So
Yeah.
that is the cigar you would recommend for these two.
Yes.
What balances so
medium,
perfectly?
it's just a medium-bodied cigar, and with both of these liquors, I still like number 3 better than number 1, but it's okay.
Let it go, Renee.
Yeah,
Just
okay.
let it
I'll
go.
let it go.
Were you at
They
number 3?
they decided number 1 is the one, so it'll stand up to it. I think it will work very well with both of them.
So you think they'll balance each other out,
Yep,
is what you're telling me.
Yep.
Outstanding. And you said this cigar what is it about the flavor that makes it so special?
It's just a medium-bodied cigar, but the Nicaraguan shade grown, it's a unique flavor that it's unlike any other cigar we've had. You know, normally you think a shade grown is a very mild, light cigar. This is more of a little bit darker cigar, but it looks a lot like their sun-grown wrappers, but it's not. It's smoother. It's just a more complex flavor.
So what you're telling me is it's light but deep at the same time?
Yes.
So it's light and heavy all at the same
No,
time.
it's not heavy.
It's light and deep. I get it.
It's a light colored,
Okay.
but fuller flavored.
Okay.
But not over the top full. I mean, it's kind of a light to medium, not a medium. It's a light to medium flavored. It's a very unique flavor.
All right. So you might be the proof pansy. I'm probably the cigar Cinderella here, right?
Yes.
But
Yes.
is this something that I could try to get into cigars with something like this?
Yeah. I mean, well, no, you could.
Yeah. Well,
You
no,
could. You
Okay.
couldn't. You couldn't. I know other people.
I'm giving
that
you
are-
an opportunity,
yes.
Renee. I'm opening the door here.
But they do make a Connecticut version of the Legacy that you could do.
Okay. Maybe we'll see. Maybe
Yes.
we'll have to see
You
what
need to
happens
come to
next
the
week
shop.
when we are at Mr. Lester Steakhouse at Cypress Bayou Casino.
I'll bring you one.
Live streaming next Wednesday. Find our socials. We will be sure to put up what time we're going to start live streaming. You never know what we're going to give away. You never know what we're going to have. You never know what we're going to do.
I know one thing we're going to give away. We're going to give away probably the winner implicit dinner.
Oh, we're going to announce
Yeah.
all of the winner implicit dinner winners because
On that show.
there's multiples. By the way,
Oh,
if
yeah.
you want to sign up, go to the Implicit Bias Liquor Collective locations. We're going to start. I go north to south here. Benny's in Opelousas, Champagne's in Karen Crow, Ambassador Wine and Spirits in Lafayette. Abbeville, go to Champagne's in Abbeville. Go to Nunu's in Maurice or Youngsville. You can just scan the QR code. You can also go to Piper's Haven, Gambino's Bakery here in Lafayette, William S. Nacalls in Lafayette, Lafayette Power Sports, who is a new partner with us here on Implicit Bias Radio. We're going to give them some love in just a minute. And Walker is, of course, giving me the 1 minute finger, which I'm going to give right back to him. So if you're on video, you can see this. No, I'm kidding. Which we're going to give to Walker. We'll be back. More Implicit Bias Radio right after this. Implicit Bias Radio rolls on in hour 2. I'm your host, Kevon Bordelon. If you are watching on our video side, whether that's YouTube, X, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you're finding your Implicit Bias Radio, you actually get to see what's going on in the Mr. Lester's TSPL. That's the top secret podcast layer for the uninitiated. As I said, I'm Kevon Bordelon. We got a crew here for you, and that's Crew with a K that is unmatched because, man, the weekly whiskey's always fun, Renee, especially when we get to set firsts and we get to pick a barrel on the show.
That was a very unique experience that I've never had done before. I hope to be able to do it again.
I'm a solo, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, we appreciate that. Drunkle in the house, for those who don't know. At the bar, Brian Hold Harmless Harmon of Dupree Carrier Godshaw. So, Harmon, what?
That was my hello to my wife, man. I mean, it doesn't need to be aired on the public.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. We got to tell people. It's okay, because that's what we do on the show.
Honestly, it's allergies. I was scratching my nose.
No, we are as honest as we can be, and
We
we're as
are.
transparent as we can
Yep.
be. And look,
I'm just glad I'm not mumbling yet.
Your wife watches the show.
It's a valid question. Only when Kevon says the price of the bottles I bring.
whoa. Did I get you in trouble?
Yes.
You got to tell me these things, dude.
Well, I thought we were friends. I didn't know that needed to be discussed.
We are friends. The price of the bottle. I mean, come on. It's what we do. It's why Renee is wearing the What Would You Pay championship belt chain. It's part of the show. Are you serious? No, you're not.
I'm
Anyway,
serious. My wife listens to the show. Whose wife doesn't? Does yours wife not? No.
Mine doesn't.
Mine does.
My wife
I
doesn't.
thought we needed to include our wives. Okay.
Yeah.
enough said.
Well, and look,
I'll be happy to watch this by myself.
we do include our wives. We should. And look, as men, it's one of the things that we are adamant about on this show is that we as men uphold the responsibilities that we have as men. We can have fun. We can be overgrown 13-year-olds
Yes.
with 40-year-old livers. That's a whole different thing.
No, my wife laughs at me laughing at my wife watches me watch the show and then makes fun of me laughing at the show is what happens.
Well, that's fantastic.
It is. It's perfect.
We don't even care if you are laughing with us, if you are laughing at us, as long as you're laughing.
Right.
Yeah.
Have thick skin, have fun, enjoy the show, enjoy what you do,
My
enjoy the
wife
conversation.
just likes it when we go to Mr. Lester's so she can get strawberry daiquiris.
Correct. And your yes,
My
your
wife will
wife,
second that. Yes.
yes, your wife comes in hot.
Yeah.
Every time we go to Mr. Lester's, the second I hear in the corner, I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah,
oh, Polly's getting a daiquiri.
I mean, all the staff knows her as the daiquiri lady.
Yes. Yep.
It just,
So, by the way, if you want a chance to come to Mr. Lester's with the crew, who, by the way, Paul Stabatier is not going to make. All you have to do is go to the Implicit Bias Liquor Collective stores, whether that's Benny's in Opelousas, Champagne's in Karen Crow, Ambassador Wine and Spirits here in Lafayette, Champagne's in Abbeville, Nunu's in both Maurice and in Youngsville. You can go to Piper's Haven. You can go to Gambino's. You can go to Lafayette Power Sports, who, by the way, I was there today. I'm going to lose my retirement in that store. We'll talk about that later. And you can also go to William S. Snake Hall Jewelers.
right. Can't go to Rustic
Nope.
anymore.
Because somebody
Somebody
beat
won it.
Caleb on the range.
I don't want to mess with that dude.
Me neither. You want to talk about somebody that can shoot?
I didn't know there was an open challenge.
It was an open.
Oh,
You can
yeah.
still go by and challenge.
Oh, I'll challenge.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Go to the digital range. Go on the range. It's tons of fun.
I've been playing video games for 25 years. I'll challenge him every day.
And here's the
Have
fun
you-
part.
You've never been to the digital range?
I have. I set records on a lot of the different courses, and then when everyone was patting me on the back about it, my comment was, "Finally, 20 years of video games playing has paid off." I appreciate
Well,
it.
and look, setting a record for the worst score on the range is something that needed to happen. We know this.
No, that was the night of Implicit Birthday 1.0, if I'm not mistaken.
That was the very
Yeah.
first implicit birthday. Yeah.
AKA one of the greatest nights of my life. That was a great time.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Okay.
My liver is recovering to this day.
Hey, that is all on you.
19 little shots make a big drink, apparently. Who knew? Yeah. Who knew?
All right. So as we dive into, the talents that we all have, one of the talents that you could say is possessed not just politically, but physically in Washington, D.C. right now is the ability to build things.
Yeah.
Donald Trump has been building things
All his life.
forever.
Yeah.
Like the Sandlot, forever. It's what he does.
Yep.
And I love that people are losing their minds over the remodel of what was the East Wing, which will now be a ballroom.
He destroyed the East Wing. He just took it all out.
Because he's the first president to do
To ever do that.
any reservations.
Yeah. The
Is
East
he
Wing.
the first president to do any renovation?
No.
No, he's not.
Not
No.
hardly.
This is my shock face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
if you think about it,
what,
go ahead, Renee.
but this thing didn't cost us a dime.
He's paying
It
for it all
cost-
on his own.
Well, that and he's got friends that donated
Yeah.
money for it, but it cost us nothing. Now,
The
on-
flip side.
on socials, they've been showing pictures of the East Wing getting destroyed, and come to find out, it's not the current. It's when Obama was in office and put his indoor basketball court and did renovations that cost a taxpayer $400 million.
It's an outdoor court, first of all, but
Well, yeah, but he did.
Why did converting? You're right. The numbers are accurate. Why did converting a tennis court
And
to
a basketball court.
court
Cost $400 million.
$400 million?
Okay,
Yeah,
so
but
we're
they
being told a
destroyed- they-
ballroom, an indoor ballroom, literally cladded in gold, is going to cost $200 million.
Okay,
But
so hold on.
where did the money go?
So let's have a fun conversation around this. So first of all, what did we say? What did we say government does, Paul?
Allegedly.
Fraud, waste, and abuse, right?
Yeah.
But I am of the belief that basketball court, that remember, no one in the media complained about when Obama did it to the White House.
Mhm.
No one complained about it at all.
And me personally had no problem with it.
A
I didn't.
multi-$100 million basketball court. You can almost build an entire basketball arena for $400 million. You can almost build
Not a dome, right?
the
Yeah, but I
Smoothie King
think-
Center.
Yeah, I
No,
think-
I'm
I think
correct.
he
It's
did.
outdoors, isn't it?
It is.
It's an outdoor.
I think he
basketball
did some
court.
other renovations
He
at
did.
the same time.
Okay.
He
It
did.
wasn't
All right,
just the
all right. I mean,
basketball.
that's a-
but for the most part, it was the
Because
basketball
there
court.
was destruction of a building.
There was, but
part of
I don't
that.
think that building was part of the basketball court, which is all Obama did.
Right.
But here's the bigger question. For $400 million, did the White House have more than the basketball court added? Because I'm going to go down the avenue, and maybe this is the real reason why people are so upset. Maybe there was more to that basketball court than we thought. There have been some really interesting pictures of underground tunnels that have now been exposed because of the destruction and the demolition that we saw of the basketball court and part of that building. There is no secret that if you especially go up in the Northeast, I mean, look, you go 8 feet down in Louisiana, you are hitting water.
Mhm.
You go 6 feet down, you are in liquid mud,
Yeah.
for lack of a better term.
Mhm.
You do that up north, and you are still in solid ground, and you
You're
can
rock.
tunnel. You're in rock.
I mean,
And there's tunnels all over the Northeast.
look at the infamous Greenbrier
Correct.
golf course incident. You know, we had a whole underground bunker that would house all of Congress, House, Legislative, and Senate. You know, and it got exposed, so they had to abandon that. But
So maybe here's my question. You know, there were lots of emails that came out a few years ago about parties they were having in DC and in the White House. You think they had those parties in plain view of all the staff?
oh no,
Or do you think maybe they had a little area for their own private activities?
yeah,
I'm wondering if this demolition, if this demo of that particular wing of the White House, what was the East Wing, if that was maybe for something a little different. Paul, you seem to have had a light bulb. I hear a ding, ding, ding over there that didn't come from the bell.
So the East Wing was the Epstein wing?
Oh,
Huh?
you know what? I didn't even ring the bell because maybe,
I did. Yeah,
look, it's
I
a
didn't think
maybe.
about that.
I mean, remember, there were hot dog and pizza parties. And if you go down that rabbit hole of what the FBI says those are code words for,
Yeah,
that literally, if you look, and please don't believe me on this one, go look up WikiLeaks, go look up the Podesta emails, go look up the Hillary Clinton emails, the Obama emails, where they literally say, we agreed not to talk about these things in email. And they are talking about hot dog and pizza parties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are frightening things when you start looking up what the FBI says those are code words for.
I can't help but wonder if what you say is correct. And I think I can say this on the air. I've said it once before.
Uh-oh.
You didn't warn me. Heads
Did-
up, Walker. How many bags of unclaimed cocaine were found in those places is my question.
Why couldn't you say that on the radio, first of all?
I don't know. This isn't my industry. You
That's-
tell me.
No, cocaine is fine. The word
say cocaine.
isn't. Right?
All right.
Cocaine is just fine.
You're gonna have to go through. We need to have
male
we need to have a
bovine
course on it.
excrement.
Yes.
you can't say that on the air.
No, you can say male bovine excrement. You,
You
can't,
can't
say the
say that.
shorthand for that,
Yeah, exactly.
right? No, look, the cocaine was allegedly found in the West Wing.
As logic would dictate, that's where it would be found.
Correct. What, Walker? Oh, you're not like holding up what could look like your phone in the corner of my eye this
Oh.
time. You're actually leaning over with the finger this
He
time.
was saying one bag of cocaine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, one bag of cocaine. Is that how many bags of cocaine you have, Walker? I'm kidding. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. More Implicit Bias Radio. Penultimate segment after this?
Yes, sir.
Right after this on Implicit Bias Radio. Penultimate segment of this week's episode of Implicit Bias Radio. I'm your host, Kevon Bordelon. My co-host, Caleb Morse, double booked himself and completely did not remember to tell me that he wasn't going to be here this week until, 4 hours before we recorded, Renee?
His loss, my gain.
Yes. Why? Because Renee is sitting in the chair of intoxication now.
No, that's Brian's chair.
Oh, please.
Yeah, I'm
I'll own it.
telling
I'll
you.
own it.
Yeah.
Paul Sabatier also at the bar. He's not in the chair of intoxication, and it's a good thing because we at least got to have somebody here who's cognitively sound enough to do the show with me. So, Paul, appreciate that. This is a story that, man, we're going to continue to talk about this next week. We're going to get into the small part of this right now because we had talked about this before on the show.
Mhm.
Major scandal right now. And I believe this scandal, and this is just my pure opinion, I've got some things to base this opinion on. You probably think I'm nuts if I give you the full everything behind it. But we talked about the name Tim Donaghy on this show before. Renee, I know Renee, you don't remember the tapioca pudding you had for breakfast, much less.
No, but I
5
remember
years ago.
stuff 50 years ago.
Correct. There you go.
This is Brian Dennehy's brother, isn't it?
Nope. This is not the actor Brian Dennehy's brother. Not even close.
Okay.
This is a disgraced NBA official. Years ago, was caught fixing games in the NBA. And for those who maybe don't know the whole story, I'll give you the synopsis here. Donaghy gets caught. Donaghy begins cooperating with the investigation. And Donaghy says, I will name names of players and officials who have been involved in this.
Hmm.
And what happens? The really interesting thing is, all of a sudden, Donaghy finds out that the NBA is working against him to just send him to jail and not have any of the cooperating investigation continue. This is my shocked face.
As every innocent organization would do.
Correct. And therein lies the problem with this, right? Because for anybody, if you haven't been living under a rock in the last 2 weeks, you know that the NBA had arrests happen. Oh, it was what, a week and a half ago? They arrested players. They arrested a coach, and they have tied them to old school mafia families. The Bonanno family, the Genovese family. I mean, old school 5-family mafia families. And they've got them on everything from games to players who weren't going to play that had information and coaches having information that the sports books didn't have so people could bet on them and disseminating that information to then bringing people into rigged poker games. And some of this video is fascinating. People wearing glasses so that they can see, because, you know, sometimes poker players will wear glasses and their excuse is, I'm wearing glasses so nobody can see my eyes and I get to maintain my poker face. As opposed to, I'm wearing glasses that show me writing that's basically an invisible ink on the back of each card that tells me what card someone's holding. I mean, it's crazy stuff.
Yeah, but they've only arrested a coach and 3 or 4 players.
Only a coach and 3 or 4 players.
But
you say only. That's like saying God was only mentioned in the Declaration of Independence 4 times.
yeah, but
it's 4 times.
But the thing is that it's much larger, but they've only arrested
Correct. So far.
4 or 5 people. And yeah, the way they're talking about this thing is big. It's big, huge.
Is it huge?
Huge.
Is it huge?
Huge.
Is it going to be the biggest investigation ever?
It's
The hugest in the history of mankind?
yes.
It's bigly.
It's bigly.
Bigly.
Well, to me, this is the bigliest part of it. And it's this. We've talked about this on this show. We've talked about the fact that the NFL was taken to court. And in court, in New Jersey, the NFL argued that they are a sports entertainment industry, not a sports industry.
Yes.
Take a guess who else is registered as a sports entertainment industry.
WWE.
NFL.
The NFL argued that they are, so who else is? And Renee got it because the terror of intoxication is up over there.
See,
so,
told you.
yeah, you're right. No, the WWE, the WWF, professional wrestling is under a sports entertainment.
Well, the reason why they had to change WWF to WWE.
That's just naming. That has nothing to do
That
with
was because the World Wildlife Fund
correct.
sued them.
Correct. But they just
Yeah.
changed their name.
Right.
They are still sports entertainment
Yes.
as an industry.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
The NFL is listed as a sports entertainment industry on their legal documents,
Yeah.
and they argued it in court as to why they could do things, and they were sued by the Jets season ticket holders because of what happened. And it was a game issue around season tickets. And like, no, we're sports entertainment. We can do whatever we want.
Right.
But here's the crazy part. Years ago, and I mentioned this again on the show, there was a book written called Pass Interference, How the NFL is Rigged. And this book was written in the 1970s. It was how the mafia was rigging games.
Oh, I was assuming it was a Rams-Saints game that sparked the name of that book. I apologize.
Okay. And look, ring the bell because this, and we're going to talk more about how the NFL might be tied to this on next week's show. But this might be the big takeaway. So NBA players, NBA coaches get arrested. This is when you know that everybody out there is in deep doo-doo, deep caca, deep bovine excrement.
Fathomless defecation.
Yes, that they are in fathomless defecation. I like that, Renee. Renee is just, you're like rolling with them. The day after NBA players are arrested, no one has mentioned anything about the NFL. Boomer Esiason goes on his podcast, and one of the first things he says about this is, man, this is big, and it makes me wonder how far it goes and what other leagues it goes into. And what game does he bring up, Brian?
Saints semifinals. I forget the year, but it wasn't long ago.
Yep, like 2014, 20,
Yeah.
yep,
The last full NFL game I
2013.
watched.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Rams-Saints NFC Championship.
Yep.
And he says they might want to look at this because there's some really shady stuff going on. And now, this is the big thing to me. You have cameras on everything.
Oh, yeah.
Everything.
You can clearly see when somebody's in or out of bounds. And holds.
You've
tap-
got 9 angles on
Yes.
it. You've got and some of the things that happen are inexplicable. Paul,
And you'll probably never hear me say this again, but back to the NBA. Is LeBron on any of that?
well, that's
So what you're
He hasn't
saying
been
is he
implicated
could have actually been better than Michael Jordan, but he's been holding back because he might be.
I highly disagree.
Yeah,
And
no,
here's-
no,
and here's
that's
why I
not
say
what
that.
we said.
So number one, no, he could not have been better than Jordan because the only way he's gotten everything he's gotten is that he's been playing since he was 18 years old when Jordan didn't get those extended years.
Sure.
But now this is where we get into some fun with this. This does potentially verify one of the greatest conspiracy theories in the history of sports. And it's this. Michael Jordan, if you remember, retired at the prime of his career. Michael Jordan walked away from basketball, height of his career, went and played baseball for what, 18 months?
Yeah, minor league.
And then came back.
Yeah.
The theory was always this, is that Jordan had been identified as having a gambling problem, and the NBA suspended him for gambling. And the way it happened and went down was that they allowed him to say, I am going to retire for the term of my suspension, so I never get suspended, and then come back at what would be the end of it.
Yeah, his dad dying was just a
Oh.
coincidence,
Oh.
or was that part of a gambling debt?
Oh.
Please be a part of a gambling.
Now, look,
debt. This
I
is
would
juicy.
I would love to say I know. I don't know here, but it's awfully suspicious now that we know that Jordan was a heavy gambler. You've now got the exact same circumstance
Didn't know that.
in the NBA today where a player was identified as having a gambling issue. The league knew about it. The league was notified by the sports books, and he faked an injury for the rest of the season in order to not play and then come back. So you've got almost the exact same set of circumstances as Michael Jordan. And then what you have with Jordan is his dad mysteriously, I say mysteriously, his dad passes away, but the timing of it is highly suspicious.
He's murdered.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying, I'm just saying this maybe is our implicit bias radio.
It's
We'll be back.
plausible.
We'll be back with the final segment. We are getting ready to sign off on this week's episode of Implicit Bias Radio. Thanks for being with us. The last segment is tons of fun, and this one, well, it needs a signature of approval. If you missed anything on this episode, let me just tell you, you can find us on all of our socials, X, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. You can find entire episodes on YouTube, anywhere you get podcasts, Apple, Google, Spotify. And if you have not registered at the Implicit Bias Liquor Collective, go to our website, implicitbiasradio.com. All the members are there. You can find all the information to register for Winner Winner Implicit Dinner. Free entry. We're going down to Mr. Lester Steakhouse with about 90 of our closest friends, and we are going to have a hell of a good time on November 15th. What, Renee?
So when do they have to register by?
They
When-
need to register. That, thank you. That's a great question. It's
Because
odd that you
November
would
5th,
ask something that's a good question, but okay. Now, yeah, so we are going to announce the winners on November 5th, which means I will pull them probably midday November 5th. So call it noon on November 5th. That is the deadline.
okay.
Noon on November 5th.
Hey, you know
the
people
deadline.
are going to wait till the last damn minute.
They absolutely are. They absolutely are. We got a great crew here in the Mr. Lester's TSPL. By the way, it's $5 $17.92 a month at Mr. Lester Steakhouse, the only 5-star restaurant between New Orleans and Houston. You don't want to miss it. Okay, so when I said this last segment needs a signature of approval, I'm wondering how we can generate that signature.
Auto pin.
Well, I mean, hold on. Is that valid? We can go to the bar with Brian Harmon, with Paul Sabache. I mean, what are we talking here?
I'll take it.
Yeah.
For signing thank you letters for 5th graders.
Okay,
That
fair.
auto pen. Apparently, there's some sort of mechanic arm that will replicate
That's exactly
a
what it is.
signature.
It is.
Okay.
It is a machine.
Yeah.
That patterns the signature
Mhm.
of someone
Okay.
and then perfectly replicates it every single time.
And we use this to sign important legislation.
No.
Okay.
Actually, historically, AutoPen has been used for ceremonial signatures,
Mhm.
not legislative or legal signatures, legally binding signatures. So a president, when he signs something into law, needs a legally binding signature of the duly elected president of the United States,
Mhm.
cognitively of his own physical execution.
Well, and one of the things that you've been seeing lately, every time you see Donald Trump
Mm.
doing an executive order,
Wonder why?
he takes his big Sharpie,
Wonder why?
custom made for him,
Wonder why?
and he signs it and then flips the thing over and shows it to the camera
It's quite the
to
production.
show. Yeah, to show I signed this. There was no auto pin on that.
Correct. Paul, you want to chime in on this?
And for I would imagine there's people out there that probably say, well, what's the big deal? You know, what if he just okayed it, but he was just too goofy and didn't have the content? But I would relate it to this is like we all have baseball cards or used to have baseball cards that had an autograph on it. It wasn't the actual autograph, but it was the auto pen. It's not worth anything more than any other card. But if you had one that was actually physically signed by it, well, then that card's going to be a lot more authentic and worth a whole lot more because it means more. The actual person actually signed it.
Well, that's a great point because, first of all, when you think about a signature designates that someone understands, has the cognitive competence to understand and comprehend exactly what it means, and then willfully signs of their own volition.
Boy, they read the document that they're
Correct.
signing.
Correct.
Well, let's go back to the baseball card. Okay. So if I have a baseball card and I think it's a signature, a genuine signature, and let's say I can't think of the scenario in which we would end up in court. Okay. But let's say a judge has to oversee that. Would a auto pen signature in court hold up in comparison to what is a known authentic signature in comparison as far as value goes? What do you think a judge would do in that case? Would the auto pen be held to the same high quality and value as the authentic, or is the auto pen at a lesser value and really null and void? It doesn't really add anything to the value of that card.
So herein lies the point. The real signature is contractually binding.
Yes.
A machine signature does not verify and does not signify competence to agree to what is being signed. And that's the big deal.
I mean, basically, it's a photocopy of your signature.
Correct.
That's all it is.
So here's the issue.
You need not be present to win.
Here's the issue. 8,000 orders were signed by Joe Biden at the end of the presidency, allegedly.
Yeah.
One day.
Oh, how
One
many
day.
pardons? How many
Not
pardons?
one day, but a couple of days.
How many pardons?
So there were pardons, there were commutations. You put them
Yeah.
all together, right?
Yeah.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. He has to, at the very least, be aware that they're there and sign them. And what we
Right.
now know, and how do we do this? Because every signature is exactly the same. It is perfect every single time. And if it is executed by hand by a person, my signature is not the same
No.
every single time. Yours isn't, no one's is.
No.
But all of these are the same, which means that there are now people in Congress looking at this and going, everything that is signed that has this identical signature, they're not valid because
Right.
they weren't signed by the duly elected president of the United
Well, I mean-
States. They were signed by a machine. And that's
Well,
two
and-
totally different
and
things.
You could run that auto pen, don't get tired. You can run that thing 24 hours a day. You just get staffers to sit there and feed papers underneath it, and it just signs.
Does the auto pen understand the situation in which it is?
This is a brilliant point.
Yeah. Does the auto pen understand that it is adjudicating criminal?
Does the auto pen understand that it is signing
No.
a contract or a thank you letter?
It's
There you
it's
go.
an
I
it's
mean,
a
that-
mechanical device. It's like putting a paper
does.
through the photocopier.
Here's the bigger thing. Do you really have to have the president's authority to sign it with
You're
auto
suppo-
pen?
You're
You're
supposed to.
supposed to, but nobody
Well-
knows whether Joe was actually there, whether Joe actually agreed
Right.
to all of it. Nobody knows any of this. And that's the big thing. At some points, Joe wasn't even in Washington, D.C. when things were signed.
Who else has a
Oh.
pardon power other than the president of the United States?
Nobody has pardon power, but plenty of people have access to the auto pen.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing. We don't know if Joe knew, if Joe was there, or if some staffer went, oh, I'm just going to have the auto pen sign this, and I'm going to do what I want. And that's the big
Does
takeaway.
the auto pen know if the staffers are financially incentivized to get something signed?
Oh, good question. You know, I guess we need like we need the auto pen every time you turn it on to say like Mecca Lecca Hi, Mecca Heine Ho. It is the all-knowing auto pen,
Yeah.
right? Is it the all-knowing, all-seeing auto pen? No.
No.
But this has happened before, right? I mean, we can't use the word like unprecedented, can we?
Yeah, we pretty much can, Paul.
Well, where do we know what was auto penned and what wasn't? Like,
Oh, you
'cause,
had
like,
yes.
If like say something passed through legislative and was it signed by him or was it auto penned?
There are some things that show his actual signature because it varies. There are some things that are exactly the same. One of the things that varies is Hunter Biden's pardon. I see you, Walker.
Right.
Hunter Biden's pardon varies from all the auto pens.
Because he signed it. He's
He
like, I'm
signed-
making sure I get my kid off.
Ring the bell. And I hate to cut you short. We'll have a segment of bonus content this week. We've maybe got a couple segments to upload. If you want to find it, go to buzzsprout.com. Subscribe to the bonus content. It's always more fun. It's usually unedited, unfiltered every now and then. You never know. But for the most part, it's just unhinged. Why? Because it's unfiltered, implicit bias radio. We'll see you in 7 when we're live at Mr. Lester Steakhouse on the 5th of November. Cheers.